What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to do another experiment here on our test fender. Right here we have a silver ice base that we sprayed ghost blue over, and this was at 50 grams, so it was just a subtle effect. It needed more ghost in my opinion, but for today's experiment we're going to spray some chrome by RUST-OLEUM. This is bright coat metallic finish. Alright, so here we have one of the chrome looking caps, but this one says metallic silver. Same as this one. It's RUST-OLEUM, looks chrome, but says metallic silver. So the only one I found that says chrome is this one. Bright coat by RUST-OLEUM, so I'll take that. And I think other than that, there's many spray cans. There's also some color shifts over here. We might try these. These are 10 bucks a piece. And remember, 5 grams of pearl is about $6. Plus, I'm trying to see a mid green. We've got satin, deep timber, interesting. Hunt club green. Would do a ghost club or something. Ghost hunt. Hunter green. This is also semi-gloss actually. And then gloss. I don't use gloss, but this is hunter green, hunt club green, or deep timber. So this was the only can that I could find that actually said chrome, so we're gonna see how chrome or shiny it is right here on the test fender. So I'm gonna leave that as our base, the silver ice, and then on the bottom I went ahead and sprayed some RUST-OLEUM flat black from a rattle can, just to get a black base and to show us which works best for the RUST-OLEUM paint. We're gonna add this can into our spray gun, and then we're gonna spray like even coats. So first things first, I guess, let's go ahead and shake up the can and transfer the paint over to the spray gun. So I went ahead and shook the can of paint several minutes so that all the paint was nicely mixed. Over here I have the spray gun. This is the Spectrum. This is an HTE with a 1.3 tip from Harbor Freight, and I have the gravity feed cup right here, and on top just a filter, just to filter any dirt, debris, whatever. Sometimes on the spray cans I do get some particles inside the paint, but what I'm going to do is just get one of these little screws, drywall screws, exterior screws, whatever, right here on this top bump right here. Just tap it with some pliers, a hammer, whatever, just make a small hole. You don't want to puncture it right here, it might burst. So just up here, small tap, and then we'll just let it just release some of that extra pressure, and then we'll tip it over, use that paint in the spray gun. Look at that filter. So this video was requested by one of my viewers. I am Griff, spraying rattle can chrome just to see what it looks like. Here's our test fender. I already have the paint inside the spray gun, so let's go ahead and spray. Looking at it from this angle, from this top part all the way to like this upper section. I was doing light coats, maybe about 50% overlap. You see right there the reflection, and then further a little bit down, that's where I started overlapping just a little bit more. I would say probably 75%. So you can see how the reflection is much more deeper, much more reflective. It's still the first coat, but I'm just saying heavy coats or complete wet coats is what it likes. So straight ahead, right here on this upper section, I mean, it's looking like very bright silver. Silver eyes, just bright. Going a little bit further down, where a little bit wet coat was, looks a little bit more reflective. No reflection here. You can begin to see some reflection right here. Well, it's still wet. Alright guys, so here is the RUST-OLEUM Bright Coat metallic finish, chrome, and it looks pretty decent. You know, we have a nice, what is it, this chrome reflection. There's a little bit of, you know, as you pass by right here in the surface, like you can see a little bit of the modeling. On the first coat, well, we learned a few things because from the first coat, we had a base coat of silver, and we also had some black base down here. It covers really well, so even after you spray the first coat over black, it already brings it to a silver. So second coat, you're spraying over the same, you know, colored base. What I do, I guess, recommend is just give it a nice wet coat and just leave it at that. The whole coming back with the mist coat, drop coat, control coat, whatever you want to call it, on this one, I believe that's what left the modeling, because I was spraying a little bit of a distance, what I thought was still a wet panel, which it was, but I think that spray just left that modeling, since, you know, it was just a further distance, and that's where I noticed. But other than that, the color looks pretty good. It still kind of looks like a silver, but it feels like a chrome. So let me go ahead and just take this outside, and we'll give it one more view outside before we spray some clear. Personally, I think by adding clear, it might dull the chrome, but we'll see. Let's take a look at it outside. So here it is outside, direct sunlight. In some angles, it just looks like a silver, very similar to what we just sprayed, silver eyes. It is very brilliant, very shiny. The chrome feeling doesn't feel like it's there anymore, like in direct sunlight. It looks better like indoors. But brilliant, shiny finish it is. So let's go ahead and spray some clear coat and see what it does. Alright, Griff, here it is, RUST-OLEUM Chrome in a rattle can, or from a rattle can. I added it onto the spray gun so that I can get more consistent like passes, or no tiger striping, you know. Here is with a few coats of clear coat. Of course, we see more of the gloss reflection. Where indoors it doesn't quite look like chrome anymore. It looks like silver, bright silver, metallic, whatever. Yeah, if you're going for a silver car. But let's go ahead and look at the fender right here outside with the sun. I'm pretty sure it's going to be just a bright silver. But it does remove some of the, like, it makes the chrome just feel like a little bit dull, so it brings it down to like a silver. That's the gloss from the clear. And here it is outside. Sunlight, some shade from the tree branches. Overall, it still looks just like a silver wood, just a shiny silver. So if there was any chrome, I would probably say indoors. If this isn't meant to have clear coat, to have a reflective chrome or shiny chrome, the paint itself, you know, after a few months, it's going to dull anyways because of the sun or the weather. But, you know, I would suggest it just not worthy for a car. But, you know, after the clear coat, it turns silver. If this is a silver you're interested in, very cheap, you know. This is about $6 for a can. So compare that, that's like 11-ounce can. A pint of that OEM silver ice was almost $100 for a pint. So yeah, this is an alternate, but there's many options out there. Chrome with clear coat, it does not look like. Without, I would say, yeah, 2 coats, I would say, heavy, and no control coat. But there it is. So leave some comments. What do you think? That's it. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.